Today, I want to share with you the ways that I reduce stress while scaling a huge real estate portfolio. So, for those of you who don't know, I own 90 units of real estate, five single family homes, two apartment complexes in Oklahoma. One's a 26 unit, one's a 20 unit, and I own a 200 lot mobile home park. So, I bought my two apartment complexes, my mobile home park in 2021 during COVID when interest rates were low, and I scaled rapidly. I bought 80 units in 8 months, and all my deals were value add real estate, right? So my 26 unit, 20 unit, and mobile home park all required renovation. Each had different property managers, each had different general contractors, and I had to renovate at least 50 to 60 units in about 12 to 18 months. So I was very busy, very stressed. And keep in mind, I'm working full time W 2, so I work 40 hours a day. I have a 2 hour commute every day, and I was renovating my real estate on the side. So, as you can imagine, it gets very stressful. It costs a lot of money, and I probably went through the most stressful time period in my life from March of 2023 all the way up to June of 2023. And during that time window, I felt depressed. I had low energy, low mood, no motivation. Like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I buying real estate? Why am I putting myself through the stress? Why am I grinding? Why do I feel alone? Like, I just felt like very empty, depressed. I hit rock bottom, like emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally. My body felt tired, couldn't move, had a hard time waking up, right? So for me, what caused the most stress was when I was trying to sell my mobile home park. I was working with a buyer who wasn't that great. He was very flaky. He ended up flaking on me on the day of closing. And, that park was bleeding money every month. So this is the first time in my entire life that I had financial stress. And, financial stress isn't fun, right? I've never experienced it. I was fortunate to grow up, middle class. So, we didn't have a lot of money, but we didn't struggle either. And when I came out as a pharmacist, I made good money as a W 2. I had student loans, but I had made good money and I was able to pay off my student loans and able to have money to do things for me. So I never really had financial stress until I bought 80 units in 8 months. And, you're allocating money towards each renovation and you have a planned amount that you allocate, but everything takes longer, costs more money, and doesn't go according to plan, right? So during the time, I remember it was June 15th. That's when my mobile home park was supposed to close. The buyer backed out in the last minute, and I was like super stressed. I didn't know what I was going to do. Like, I felt hopeless, hit rock bottom. I just said, you know what? I need to change my routine. I need to find ways to reduce stress. I need to better myself, right? Because this is when I'm tested. When you're tested, you hit rock bottom. This is when you need to improve and step back up, right? It's just like, it's not how many punches you can take or how hard you can punch, is how many punches you can take, right? So if you get punched, are you able to stand back up to get punched again? Like that's what determines success versus no success. So for me, during this time period, one thing that I let go was my physical health, right? I used to go to the gym consistently, 3 to 4 times a week. And that's something I let go because I felt like I was too busy. I had low energy, and I just said, you know what, something needs to give up, and I gave up exercising. But what I learned was exercising was how I dealt with my stress. Right, exercising helped me relieve stress, helped clear my mind, turn off my brain. And then when you work out, it actually gives you more energy. So you want to conquer your day, you want to tackle the problems, and you're more optimistic when problems are thrown at you. Right, there's a lot of science and literature and research that supports that exercise is the best thing that you can do for your brain, right? Like, if you exercise consistently and get your heart rate up, combination of lifting weights and doing light cardio, but the key is just to get in the gym and not beat myself up that, like, I used to lift heavier, like, oh, I used to bench like 180, I can only bench 150 now, and I was giving myself a hard time. But I reframed myself to say, you know what, Steven, the key is just to get in the gym, right? Like, don't beat yourself up. If you feel tired, if you feel shitty, the fact that you showed up, you won. You're here not to build muscle, you're here to reduce stress. It's a different goal, different objective, right? So I made it a habit of going to the gym. And how do I remove barriers, right? Like, I have um, some dumbbells and a bench in my apartment complex that I live in. So if I'm too tired, too lazy, I just can pump out a couple sets. I have a gym in my apartment complex that I can go to. It's pretty close. And then, I live by the beach, so I can go for like some beach walks with my girlfriend. So for me, I had a hard time going to my apartment gym, even though it's literally at the bottom, 7 floors down. But once I took out my dumbbells and left it in the middle of my apartment complex, I see it every day. And it serves as a reminder to like, hey, maybe I can work out, or maybe I'm watching, basketball or football, and I can like pump out a few sets in between there. Or like if, I have like 10 to 15 minutes of downtime, I just can pump some weights and feel better. So the goal is like, how do you make it easier for you to exercise, right? Like if there's barriers, try to remove those barriers. And for me, I've literally a bench sitting in my apartment complex. It gets in my way every time I walk. So it's constantly reminding me to exercise. So the first way to reduce stress was to get back on my exercise routine, right? Just consistently exercise. It's the best thing you can do for your mind. The second thing I started doing was something I call a miracle morning routine. So, there's a book on it. I did a video on it, but I didn't really believe it. But for me, when I used to wake up, the first thing I do is I check my email, and I'd wake up at 6 a.m. exhausted, groggy, not wanting to leave my bed. I'd grab my phone, turn off my alarm, scroll through my emails, and I'll see a bunch of emails of things I need to do because my apartments are in 2 hours ahead. So by the time I wake up at 6, is right 8, 9, 10 in the different time zones, and people need to ask me questions. And then all of a sudden I'm freaking out. I'm stressed because I just woke up. I'm now stressed, right? So now anything that goes wrong that day, it's a negative spiral and the stress compounds, right? Oh, I'm driving to work. There's more traffic than usual. Oh, this last minute work got thrown at me. I'm more stressed. Oh, I need to go home and take care of this errand. I'm more stressed, right? So I was being very reactive to the day, and the stress just kept on snowballing. So what I did was I would just wake up, turn off my alarm. I would put my phone far away, don't touch it, go into the restroom, brush my teeth, come outside, drink a big glass of water to stay hydrated. And then I would be in complete silence the whole time. I would do some actually light exercise and stretching in the morning. And, I would stretch, uh, do some light push-ups, like, maybe 20, 30 push-ups, do some sit-ups, just something small. It's not a major workout. The whole point is just to kind of like get blood pumping, get your heart rate up, and then wake up your brain. And I'm doing this in complete silence, so it's a little bit meditative. And then when I'm stretching on the floor, I would actually kind of meditate a little bit. I would, you know, cite affirmations to myself that like, hey, it's okay, you'll get through this. You can survive, you can persist through this. Like these problems you're having are only temporary. And then I would kind of have focus on gratitude, like what am I grateful for, and like little things, right? Grateful for a supportive girlfriend. I'm grateful for having a dad that cares for me. I'm grateful to have a roof over my head. I'm grateful to live in a beautiful city where I'm right next to the beach, right? Just little things to help you recalibrate your mindset and give you that I can conquer it. Whatever problems are thrown at me, I know I can get through it and I can conquer it in a low stress way, right? So I'm trying to like trigger a peak mindset where I'm more positive. I know I can conquer the problem and I don't let these issues stress me out. So after that, I will, prepare my breakfast. Something simple like a peanut butter sandwich or some yogurt, and then I would, as I'm eating, I grab my notebook. So I actually use a little notebook right here, and then I would just write the date, and I'd write like 5 or 6 bullet points about whatever's on my mind, right? Whatever is on my mind, whatever I'm stressed about, anxious about, thinking about, problem solving, I just would write it down in my book, right? So I can kind of read an example of the one that I wrote today, right? So, August 28th, 2023, I just wrote simplify life and reduce your material possessions because I realized that having more stuff made me more stressed versus happier. I wrote, focus on social media to help increase cash flow. And then, I can buy real estate as a tax write-off. Journaling helps free clutter from my mind. And basically question any subconscious thoughts and beliefs that you had when you grew up. So it's just like whatever's on your mind, like don't think too hard about it. Just jot whatever's on your mind. The whole point is if you have any stress, if you have any worries, if you have any ideas ruminating, you want to get it out of your brain and onto paper, and the physical act of writing it down puts it from your brain onto your paper. So it helps remove that clutter from your mind, but also it helps you put your stressors into paper. You can look at it like, you know what? That stressor wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Right. So that's what's really nice about it is just getting it down on paper. And it doesn't take long, right? And then at that point, I once I finished all that, the whole routine of me waking up, getting ready for work, doing my stretches, journaling, doing meditation, some light exercise. That's about 30 minutes, right? It's not a long thing. And then right before I head out, I'll, check my email, see if there's anything I need to take care of immediately, and then I'll head to work, right? So, nothing complicated, but just doing this process. I've been doing it since June 15th all the way to, end of October. And this is something I want to continue doing because it really reduces my stress and really helps my mind focus. Because I have like so many ideas rolling in my mind. Like I wrote here that like I want my girlfriend to become a realtor so that, if I buy real estate, she can refer me and then she gets the commission for the real estate that I'm going to buy, or eventually, if we buy our house that we live in together, she can just represent us, right? So, whatever crazy ideas I have, I just kind of throw here, and it's kind of cool to like flip back and see what your mindset was like back in June and what I was focusing on back in June. So, I plan on doing this for the rest of my life, and actually having my future kids do the same thing, where every morning just get in the habit of journaling. 5, 6 bullet points. Don't think about it. Just write down whatever's on your mind and whatever comes naturally. So basically, implementing that miracle morning routine really helped improve my energy level, helped improve my positivity, and gave me a more proactive mindset that I can conquer the world. Right? I'm hunting. I'm not the hunted. So that was number 2. Right? Doing the miracle morning routine. Number 3 was making sure I optimize my sleep. So for me, I need about 8.5 hours to sleep. And if you're waking up at 6 a.m., then that means I have to be in bed and asleep by like 9:30 latest, right? If I'm sleeping at 10, it's 8 hours of sleep. So I need about 8.5 hours of sleep. If, I'm really stressed, really tired that day, I probably need 9 hours of sleep. So I would gauge my energy on a daily basis and be like, you know what? I'm tired today. When I go home, I want to sleep early. I want 9 hours of sleep. And it's very key because sleep is one of the most important things that you need to be in peak mindset, right? Like I'm fortunate, I don't have kids right now, so I am able to sleep. But for me, I made sure I got 9.5 hours sleep. I would sleep every day between 9 to 10 p.m. and wake up at 6 a.m. and keep that consistent, right? Even on the weekends. Like I don't stay up late anymore. I used to stay up to like midnight to 1 a.m. I'd mess up my sleep schedule. So now I try to sleep consistently at around 9 to 10 and then wake up around 6 to be consistent. So, that helped me big time as well because I always felt tired. Like if I sleep 7 hours and don't get my 8, I'm so groggy the whole day. Like I'm not productive. If I sleep 6 hours, I'm groggy the whole day and not productive. And for me to be at my best condition to take the punches of real estate and all the stressors I have to deal with, I need to at least 8 to 9 hours of sleep to be in optimal mode. So I made sleep a priority, right? So I tried to make everything prime to give me the best sleep. So this is some strategy that I do. So like once the sunset goes down, I actually try to limit the number of lights that I have in my apartment. So, I have a kitchen light over there and I got my bathroom light. So once the sun goes down, I should turn on my kitchen light. I just have a little lamp in the back where I just turn on to keep it dim because you want your eyes to be trained because we have something we secrete called melatonin, and when the response is based on the light. So when there's low light, it triggers melatonin to go up. If there's high light, it triggers melatonin to go down, so it makes it hard to sleep. So the worst thing you can do at night is once the sun goes down is turn all the lights and then that messes with your sleep cycle and rhythm. So, once the sunset went down, typically it's around maybe like right now it's around 6. I will start to turn off the lights and keep it low as dim as possible. I would dim my laptop, my TV, my cell phone. And then also what I do is I want to make sure that the room is dark when I sleep. So if you have blinds, close your blinds. I actually wear an eye mask on top of that. And so I want to make sure it's dark so that I can sleep and lights not bothering me. Another thing that I do is I like to have white noise. I live in the city and it's kind of noisy, right? Like, I sleep at 9, but obviously the city is noisy. There's cars, there's people walking. It gets kind of noisy. So I turn on the sound of rain through my Google Home, and it creates this white noise so that it drowns out the kind of noise of the city, and kind of allows me to focus on that and to turn off my mind. Because if you focus on the white noise, your mind shuts off, right? So that basically helps you do that. And then on top of that, I do something called a nighttime routine where about an hour before I sleep or 30 minutes before I sleep, I actually will, turn off my electronics. I'll put my phone in do not disturb mode, charge my phone, don't touch it, turn off my TV, and then I will usually shower, brush my teeth, and prepare to sleep because I don't want any electronics, no stimulation, nothing crazy right before I sleep. So I have a nighttime routine where 30 minutes before I sleep, so around 8:30, everything shuts off, everything gets dimmed, phone off, everything, so I can prepare for the night because I want my brain to be relaxed before I'm sleeping. Not, I don't want to stimulate it and stress it out. Because have you ever tried going to sleep stressed? When you go to sleep stressed, you wake up just as stressed, if not more stressed, because those thoughts ruminate in your mind as you sleep. So that's another thing I did. And the last thing I did was I improved my diet significantly. So this is thanks to my girlfriend, but she got me to eat a lot more fruits, a lot more vegetables, a more well balanced meal. I don't overeat anymore. So because of that, I don't feel groggy. I don't feel heavy. I don't feel greasy. I don't eat fast food anymore. My mind is fresher. I'm better optimized. And another thing that I've done too was, um, what was it? Yeah, I would basically keep the room very cool as well. So you don't want, if the room is too hot, then you can't sleep, right? If it's too cold, you can't sleep. So you want to regulate your temperature. So these are all the little hacks and tips and tricks that I've done to optimize my sleep. Because I know how important that is. And kind of the last thing that I did, which I just remembered now, was taking supplements. So for me, no matter how balanced your diet is, I feel like you cannot get all those nutrients that you need for your body. So for me, in the morning, I actually take vitamin C and then a vitamin D. Vitamin D, 'cause you can actually get your vitamin D levels drawn and see what it is. I got mine drawn and it's low. And vitamin D is what helps you with mood. It helps you with energy. And I lack both, right? My mood and energy are both low. So I said, you know what? And my vitamin D is low. So I'm going to take supplementation every morning. Make sure that when I wake up, I want to get some sunlight. I'll go outside for a bit, get some that natural sunlight. When I can, if I go on a break from work for like 10 minutes, I'll go out in the sun to kind of get some vitamin D, go for a walk, and then I would take vitamin C because that is an antioxidant and it helps uh, your kidneys reduce the amount of stress. Right? When you're stressed, you're more prone to being sick. So vitamin C helps with that. But also, when you're stressed, your body secretes cortisol. And when your body secretes cortisol, your kidneys become deficient in vitamin C. So you need vitamin C to replenish that. So I take vitamin D, vitamin C in the morning, and then at bedtime, I would take a multivitamin, and I would take a magnesium. So the multivitamin is, once again, my diet is not balanced. Your diet's probably not balanced. So I just need to make sure that I'm giving my body, my brain, all the nutrients it needs to be optimized. And then I take a magnesium because the magnesium actually helps in many ways. So the magnesium helps relax your mind and it relaxes your body. So I need both, right? My mind's constantly running, so I take magnesium after dinner with my multivitamin, and that helps calm my mind down. And kind of side effect too is it helps you use the restroom and do number two, if you know what I mean. But it helps me relax. And then when you work out, sometimes at night, like your muscles will twitch. And the reason why your muscles twitch at night is because you're a little bit deficient in magnesium. So it helps relax my mind and relax my body. So those are the four supplements that I take. As a reminder, it's vitamin C, vitamin D in the morning, and multivitamin and magnesium at night, right? You can buy all that at Costco. It's not that expensive. And if I'm extra stressed some days, I might take like two magnesiums or like two vitamin C's. It just really depends. So that's kind of the routines that I've built while being stressed. It's helped me a lot significantly. Like I've been doing it since June 15th till now. Despite a lot of things going wrong, it helped make me more resilient to stress, more positive in stress, more ready to react to the stress, to problem solve, to be more creative, and to make me a better person now. So, despite a lot of my stress is being removed, right? My 20 unit is done, my 26 unit done. I still have a mobile park. I don't have as many stressors now. I still want to continue to do it because I want to be in peak state so that I can get other ideas on how I can like create more content, improve my mentorship, improve my course, improve my social media, whatever that is, right? I just want to improve and give value to you guys. So hopefully you took a few of these tips away from me, and hopefully you can reduce your stress. And I would love if you would share with me how you reduce stress in the comments down below. If you found value, please share this video and like, comment, subscribe. Hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much.